Hello, Shavua Tov. I hope you are having a great start to the new week. Generally, I would not be doing a video following Shabbos on the Torah portion from the week before, but I realized at some point that the entire video I did on Friday, I managed to mistranslate one of the key words. So if you happen to see that video and you saw that I was translating akev, the word akev, as ankle, it's actually heel. So we're going to do this again now with the correct translation, but hopefully be making the same points. And so we're talking now about the Torah portion that was just read this morning. And that is the Torah portion of Vayishlach. And the point that I was making in that is that a lot goes on, obviously, in all of these Torah portions, and I'm only talking about one tiny snippet of it. But I was focusing on the fact that Jacob is given a new name. And generally speaking, when another name is given, the original name is no longer used. So we have Avram, who is then referred to as Avraham, Abraham, and Sarai, who is then called Sarah, and the matriarch Sarah, and they're never referred to as their original names. And yet following this wrestling match that takes place with Jacob, he is told by this angel that he's wrestling with that his name will then be Israel, Yisrael, and yet throughout the rest of the Torah, both names are used, which is really a very important lesson for us in understanding that almost that dichotomy and how both of these aspects of ourselves need to be tapped into. So the name Jacob in Hebrew is Yaakov, and there are many commentaries that explain that that name should be read as Yud, which is the first letter that begins the name, and then Akev, which is the heel, not the ankle, the heel. So the heel is actually aside from the sole of our foot, is really the lowest part of the body and is what is intersecting with the ground, with the world around us. And yet the Yud that begins that name is representative for holiness and is also numerically equivalent to 10, which is representative of the 3 intellectual faculties and the 7 emotive faculties. And for anybody familiar with Kabbalah, known as the 10 spheros, which are the combination of the 3 intellectual and 7 emotive. So we have this idea that what interacts with the world around us, what is touching the ground, what we need to get off moving and running is that our heel needs to be motivated and pushed forward with that Yud, with that holiness, with tapping into all of our abilities and our qualities. And it's really like this almost bottom-up approach that from the ground we use that holiness and work our way upwards. The name he's given then as Israel, Yisrael, is understood in numerous ways, but in 2 of the ways that we're going to explain right now is that one is that Yisrael can be broken down and read as Yashar Kel, straight and direct to godliness, and this idea that it's not an interaction with the ground and the world around us, but rather straight above us and with the ability to tap straight into divinity. And also the letters in the word Yisrael can be changed around to spell Li Rosh. To me, there is a head. Like I have a head. I have this head that is not connected to the ground below in terms of touching it, but rather is connected in the heavens above. And almost the 2 extremities of ourselves, that there is the ground that we interact with that needs to be motivated by that holiness and by engaging with all of our abilities, and then our head, which is really representing always the intellectual faculties and that ability to be connecting above, that Yashar Kel, that straight direction above, and that is really, we should utilize everything in that realm to have this top-down approach in our lives as well. So this week, tap into both of your abilities, that ability to be a Yaakov and that ability to be a Yisrael, to engage both your heel and your head, and whether or not you're working from the bottom up or the top down, it should all be in a beautiful, healthy, happy, holy way. So Shavua Tov, it should be a good week, and I'll be back on Friday. And hello, all of you who are watching, Aliza and Marsha and Ava, and glad you're here. Don't know if you saw that original one, but hopefully this one did the trick. Take care. Bye.